Okay, got all that started. Now then, pull up the handy dandy questions. I'm gonna start probably, let me get rid of these stupid, oh, don't even get me started on that either. Stupid attendance. I'm gonna start from the back and go backwards, from the chapter 3 and go backwards because that's the more complicated problems. So we'll go from there. So this is 3.2, number 5/4. So number 5 in the book, number 4 online. I'll tell you it was a decent test question. Yes, it's anything having to do with mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, standard deviation, anything having to do with those calculating, it is a standardized test question. I mean, a regular, one of my test questions. And I usually try to hang around 5 unless I give you the 5-number summary, and then I have to give you more than 5 because you can't do a 5-number summary with 5 numbers. So you have to have more than that. Usually I give you 10 or 12 or 13, something like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is send it to Excel. So open in Excel so everybody can see it and pull it up eventually. There we go. Could you turn off, one of y'all back there turn off the front light, please? I don't know which one it is. Just hit one of them. Thank you. And open it up a little bit. Thank you. And let's make it a little bit bigger. First thing we got to do is put them in what? Put them in order. So dang old data, dang old sort. There we go. All right, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to try to go get a lot of room here because I'm going to do everything. So that way, if you got any questions on empirical rule, if you got any questions on normal distribution, anything like that. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range. Mid-range is also called midpoint. Mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And we're not going to do the 5-number summary. So we'll go ahead and find the mean. The mean would be the summation of all these numbers. It's a summation of all these numbers divided by what? How many numbers we got? 5. And that's the mean. Median is going to be, since it's odd, it's going to be the middle. So that's going to be that number, which is equal to that. And we'll color that yellow so you'll see that I didn't calculate it, I just pulled it out. Mode, anything show up? No. Make sure you put a word or some kind of symbol saying there is none or there isn't any, depending on where you're from. Range is equal to the highest minus the what? Minus the lowest. Mid-range is equal to the highest what? Plus the what? Lowest divided by 2. Okay, there's supposed to be a parenthesis there. Equals parenthesis there. And the variance, I got to take the mean from each one of these. So 5 minus 11.6, and I'm going to lock 11.6 for those of you who know what Excel F4 means. And I'm going to copy that down. And then what do I do? I square that number. Make them positive, yes. And then what do I do with those numbers? Add them up. You add them up, and that's your numerator of your variance. What's the denominator? Which is 4. Now, if you can't get the denominator, we need to have a meeting after class because that's pretty simple. The denominator is just 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay? What is the relationship between standard deviation and the variance? Square root or raise it to the half power. So that number raised to the 0.5 power. Now, what do you do with that? Well, that's the spread, and the mean is the middle. So you go down here, and you put the mean right there, And then here, you do, what do you do on the right side? You add the standard deviation, lock it, and then carry it over however many. I'm going to carry it 3 because we're going to go over the empirical rule because I know that's a test question. Equals this minus the standard deviation, and I'll carry that out. Oops, F4. Carry that out 3. Now, I want everybody to draw the curve, and I want you to also label the empirical rule. So go ahead and do that. Because I want to make sure everybody, because I had a student ask me a question the other day, and you know what they said? Where'd you get to 34? Where'd you get to 34%? I said, that's in your notes and on the videos. Where do you get the 34, the 34, the 13.5, the 13.5, the 2.3, 2.3, 0.2, and 0.2? Where does that come from? The what rule? The empirical rule, yes. And what page did I tell you that was on? I think we went over that, but I can't remember the page. Look in your notes. It should say the empirical rule, page so-and-so. Okay, now I'll pull it up. No, that's because none of y'all have a book, I don't think. Because I told you not to get one, right? Yeah, I told you not to get a book. That's what I told you. That's what some students tell people. See if y'all remember what I tell you to do about a book. You remember? You can bring a what? An old book. You can bring your e-book, or you can buy a new book, or you can share a book. I did not tell you not to get a book. That's what y'all perceive that as. So take your handy dandy curve. And make sure you can do the empirical rule. Make sure you can fill it out. Now remember, I told you how's the easiest way to do this. The easiest way is to go to Google, type in distributive curve, normal distribution curve, with z-scores and empirical rule, or put in whatever you want to. Then what do? You save that picture, and then you do what with it? Copy and paste onto maybe 6 or 8 to a page on your word processor, and then print out what? About 5 or 10, couple, whatever you want. Okay, because in chapter 6 and 7, you're going to be drawing this thing on every single problem. Okay, for that one person that's going to do it, it is beneficial. Okay? So, where is the normal region? Between how many standard deviations? 2. Turn, y'all actually listen in class? Or did y'all probably already do it? Is that 2? 2? Yeah. Excuse my symmetry being off a little bit. Okay? So there is your, and how many percent falls? Well, you can either memorize it or you can put it. Do they say 0.2 or 0.3 here? I can't remember. I think it's 2.2. 0.15, isn't it? Yeah. This book uses 0.15.
That's not when I was doing my test. The one I looked at was 0.1 and 2.4.
Okay. See, it changes. I don't know who.
That's what I was going to email you for the test last night. Because you
Yeah.
calculate the outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's going to be some.
That's why you need to find it in your book and verify it, because I have no idea. So, I mean, a couple of semesters ago, it was 2.35 and 0.15. Now you say it's 0.1. So I guess they changed with the weather. I don't know. 13.5, 13.5, 34, and 34. Remember us going over this, and I told you, treat it like a what? A fuel gauge, right? This side is empty. meaning 0%. This is what? Quarter, half, 3/4, and full. Now that is the empirical rule. What I just put on there in magic marker or whatever is the empirical rule. You need to put that on every one of your curves because especially in the z-scores, and when we get into chapter 7, 6, and 7, whatever chapter it is, z-scores, they change it. We'll be drawing it every single time and you'll be using common sense to make sure that your calculations are correct. Your calculations give you a z-score of 1.5 and common sense says 0.2, then you know something's wrong. Either you're doing the common sense wrong or the calculation is wrong. So, what's outside here? Unusual and what? 6 foot second graders. All right. Now, that's pretty much your empirical rule. Make sure you know it because that is going to be at least 2 or 3 test questions. And we'll probably look over that. I think we went over 1 or 2 when we went over the test. So hopefully that helps with that homework question. Now, of course, the question does not ask all of that. I just do all of that because all of this is test questions. There's probably 2 or 3 or 5 test questions here. 2 empirical rules, maybe what's the mean and the median, that's a test question. What's the variance and the standard deviation, that's a test question. So make sure you know how to do all of that. Capiche? All right. So here's our, let's see if we got it right. What are they asking for? What's this? What they're asking for? Variance and standard deviation. Did we get it right? Was it 47.3 and 6.9? Okay, y'all don't know how to talk. 47.3 and 6.9. Thank you, class. Yes. Yeah, thank you for the interaction. I appreciate that. It's always nice to have a class that interacts. Makes the class go by a whole lot faster, doesn't it? Thank you. All right, 3.2, number 46 / if y'all want to, we can go ahead and get in the new section if y'all want to. Y'all want to get in the new section?
No.
Okay, we'll get some interaction there, huh? 3.2, 46 / 12. First of all, is it a test question? No, because I don't like to do 2 sets because it takes too much time on a test. But it is a homework question, and they're probably asking to compare the 2 sets, aren't they? Who said? I mean, does anybody know? Do you compare the 2 sets? Yeah. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to compare the 2 sets. How are we going to do it? I'm going to do it in a spreadsheet. I'm not going to follow the test. I'm not going to follow this because sometimes the homework questions can be confusing. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it up in spreadsheet, and we're going to do it like that. Except I'm going to take this one. I think this is the other one, right? There's 2 sets, right? Control C, Control X, whatever. Hold on. Control X, and move that down here. Control V. All right, everybody with me? So now I'm going to put these in order. I'm going to make it bigger where you can see in just a minute. Data, sort, right here, sort. Okay, I'm going to make it bigger, and I want you to do everything for both. Okay, so let's make it bigger. And even if you invented this mathematics, go ahead and do it because it's not going to hurt you to get a little bit of extra practice. And take these 3 out. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, 9.4, yeah. Okay, so I pretty much guarantee you they're going to ask you everything under the sun, so you might as well do everything for both, okay? That includes, you don't have to do the 5-number summary. I don't know if they're going to ask that. Yeah, they might, but I wouldn't. For what, 7 numbers for a 5-number summary? I wouldn't, but they might. So we'll do the 5-number summary also. Again, that's another question on the test that I can include on this. So go ahead and do 5-number summary in the box plot also. vodka and cranberry juice this morning.
Better with orange juice.
Huh?
Better with orange juice.
Yeah, orange juice got too much sugar in it. Alcohol's got enough sugar. That's a joke. I'm not drinking vodka. Okay.
It's not vodka, it's rum.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not vodka, it's punch.
No, I'm not. I actually cannot drink vodka or rum very much. When I do drink, and that's very seldom, it's usually bourbon. And I try to stay away from tequila because tequila is a bad, bad liquid. It makes you do crazy stuff. Stay away from tequila. I'll go ahead and be doing all the preliminary stuff for you. You can check as you go. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance. Number. In. I'm doing some if you want to check your numbers. I mean, is it 8? Be 7, right? People say I'm loud. All right, I'll check my numbers, see if they'll come out different or come out the same. I'm leaving some gaps in. I don't care about the mode. You can fill that out. I don't really care about that. And plus, if you can't do the mode, then we need to have prayer meeting because that's pretty simple. The ones I care about are the ones you calculate. So with that being said, check your numbers and see if you're coming out with some of the same numbers. Now we're going to talk about comparing the data. I don't know what the question is asking because I could care less, but I want you to see what's happening with the data. And if you can do that, chances are you can answer the questions that they're going to ask. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I rounded my mean to 2.38 and it's giving me around the same numbers. It's just a little bit.
Well, actually, you need to carry it more than that. Actually, you need to carry it to 5. And that's just a safe number because usually they're going to ask you to round the answer to the 10th or 100th. So I tell students to carry it to the 4th or 5th power. So let me change that for everything. We'll do it to 5. Yeah, it doesn't. I would use 2.375 in all my calculations if I was you. Okay, always round when? At the end. Don't round in the middle. So make sure your numbers coincide. And if you did round on this one, don't sweat it. Just go ahead and finish the problem. But from now on, carry all your digits to at least 4, at least. All right. Now, one thing that I don't know if I went over. Where is the middle of these two sets of numbers? Well, you've got it right here. The what? The median. So I'm going to take a blue marker and I'm going to put that number right here. I'm going to put a dot right there. That represents that 2.2 and 7.85 is right here. Does everybody understand that? That blue dot represents the number between the two sets of data, the upper set and the what? The lower set. See, now you need to count how many is above that dot and how many is below. It's going to be the same number. Is it odd or even? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what? Even. So you got to take these two numbers and what? Average them together to get your first quartile. And then take these two numbers and average them together to get your third quartile. Same thing up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got to take these two numbers to get your first quartile and take these two numbers to get your what? Third quartile. Now I know it's a very small amount of numbers, but again, I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here. I'm going over not only the question, but I'm also going over another question that might be on the test, which is your 5-number summary and your box plot. Capiche? Raincoat shirts are better. Just kidding. All right. So, let me go back to the spreadsheet. I don't want to cover this up with mess. All right. So, let's go right here. And I'm going to say equals, parentheses, this number plus this number divided by what? And I'm going to color that this pale blue and that pale blue. And then we'll also Control C, Control V, and we'll color these two blue. Capiche? Now we'll do the bottom set. Equals, parentheses, this number plus this number divided by 2. And that is going to be, we'll do that burnt orange looking mess. Okay, Control C and color these burnt orange. And go down here, Control C, Control V, and color these two. Check my math, make sure these, I am copy and pasting, sometimes it can mess up. So check the numbers and make sure. 8.4, 17.5, yeah. Okay, so there's our 5-number summary. Now remember, the mean, let's go ahead and color this that gray. Color that a gray. Color this some pigment that's not there. Let's see, what can maybe a green. I'm gonna color the funky green, okay? And this one is, this one is green. Funky, good dark green. And then that gray. All right, everybody with me? Now let's draw our empirical rule and our 5-number summary and our box plot. I don't think I've left out anything, have I? I don't think so. I'm gonna move this up 1. Can I move it up? Hold on. I'm gonna try to get everything in. Well, I'll have to, let me take 2 out right here. Well, let me take 2 out right here. Just give me a second, y'all. There. A little crunched, but we'll be okay. All right, so now, and I haven't got to the question yet because they're going to ask you a bunch of these calculator questions, but they're also going to ask you to compare the data. We're going to do that right after because that's, to me, the most important thing. You can regurgitate this. My 6th grader could do the calculator and do this, okay? That's not what I'm trying to get you to understand. What I'm trying to get you to understand is what do you do with it after you look at it, or after you calculate. Now, just because I drew them a little bit different, that doesn't mean anything. It means I just can't draw them. All right, so we all know, take our handy dandy highlighter and our normal area is right there. Because in the future, it's gonna ask, questions are gonna ask, is this normal or not normal? It don't say unusual, it says not normal. So it's always important for you to know where normal is. Okay, I'm not gonna put the empirical percentages on there. You can do that on your own. What do you notice about the spread? Look at the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, you got about a 68-cent change here, right? 67-cent difference. What do you got right here? What's 3.04 minus, well, you can look at the standard deviation. Look at the standard deviation. We're at 0.66, what is it down here? Which one has a larger spread? The second one. So that means the data is more off on the second or better? More off because it's looser. Okay? The data here, since the standard deviation is lower, this means this is tighter. Okay? So that's one of the questions they're going to ask you. So make sure you know how to do that. Compare the what? Compare the standard deviations. All right, so that's doing that. That looks good. All right, now let's do the 5-number summary. So here's my number line. My min, remember, this is your number line, this is your number line, and what? That's your number line. So you need to mark those three. Number line, number line, number line. So what's our min? 1.6. What is our max? 3.4. And our mid-range is 2.5. Now you need to graduate. Graduate. Well, how do you graduate? Well, what's the difference between $2.50 and $1.60? And what's half of 90 cents? 45 cents. So you want to add 45 cents right here, and that's going to give you what? 205? And so add 45 cents here, 295. And keep doing that maybe one more time. We know 45 cents. What's half of 45 cents? 22 cents? That's close enough for government work. So that'd be one what? 182. 22 cents here would be 227. Is this rocket science, or do you have to get it to the 10,000th place? No, it's not rocket science. You're just locating a box. Okay, so you don't have to carry it to the 5th digit on this. Just guesstimate. All right? I'm just adding 22 cents because it should be 22.5 or something like that, but I don't care. All right? I'm just trying to get this box where I can see something. So what's 22 cents plus $2.50? 272. And then what's 22 plus this, or 22 minus whatever? What is this? I'm sorry, what?
317.
Thank you. Some numbers I suck at adding. Okay, so there's your graduation. Now let's do the box plot. Take our handy dandy blue marker to go with this, 185. 185 is where? Right about here. Okay, take our daggum orange marker and 295. 295, there it is. Now what really tells is the middle, the yellow marker. That really tells because everything is compared to what? Center with statistics. 2.2 is somewhere right about here. So what does our curve on our data look like? It looks like it's skewed right because here's the middle. Take your red marker. Here's the middle, and if you drew a curve, it would look something like that. Meaning all the data is where? On the left, which means skewed right. So you need to write down that one's skewed right. Now you do the second. If you hadn't already done the 5-number, the box plot, do the box plots from the second one, and then compare the two. All right, somebody take, let's do the mid-range formula for it, because this is decimals, I want you to use your calculator, okay? So somebody take 6.9 plus 8.15 and divide it by 2, what do you get? 7 plus 8 is what, 14? What's 7 plus 8? 15, that's gonna be what, 7.5? So it's gonna be, add 7.5 to 7, be 14 point, no, that's not right. Just give me the number. What is 8.15 plus, oh, I did, I said, what did I say? 7.5, that's it. All right, somebody take 8 plus 9 is what? 17, right? What's half of 17? What's half of 18? 9? Okay, now do, what's 7 plus 8? 15, half of 15 is what?
7.5.
No, that can't be right. What's 6.9 plus 7.5? And divide by 2. Oh, it's going to be 7.2 or something. What is it? 7 point what? 2. 7.2. So I was right. I just wasn't thinking. All right, here. 8 plus 8 is 16. Half of 16 is what? 8. That's close enough for government work. 8 plus 9 is 17. Half of 17 is what? 8.5. 9 plus 9 is 18. Half of, you got to do that one. That's going to be like 9.2. 9.2, 9.3, doesn't matter. Okay, there's my number line. So now I'm going to draw my box plot. Blue is 7.3. 7.3 is right, I'd say 7.4 is right there. So 7.3 is down here, especially. Oh, that's 7.4. Something like that. Okay. And our orange, things I do for y'all, 8.75, 8.75 is going to be in here. And the thing that really tells is the what? The middle. So let's look at the yellow. Yellow is 7.85, and 7.85, geez, is down here. And you draw your box. And again, this one looks even more, because it's further, it looks like it's even more skewed left. Or skewed right, sorry. So, and that's how you compare the data. Now, what can you say about the data? Well, the second data is probably the most what? Unreliable. Compared to the two. Now, it may be a good set of data, but it's not as good as the first set. Because the first set, the spread is not as bigger, so that means the numbers are tighter, and the skewed right is not as sharp as it is with the data on the second group. So I don't know what they ask you on this question, but that's probably what they're going to ask you, as well as the calculations. They're going to ask you what the mean and median and all that is. Okay? So with that being done, try to do that problem again. I'm not going to take the time in class to read all those Philadelphia lawyer questions, because they're going to ask a bunch of questions, and it's going to be just those calculations. So go ahead and try the problem again. Let's see what they ask. I'm just going to read them. I'm not going to go through and do them. Determine the mean. Okay, we did that. Determine the mean, the standard deviation. The mean for the second set, standard deviation, based on the standard deviation, has more spread. Okay, we said that. What proportion of the bonds are within one standard deviation? Now they're asking you to do the, they must be asking you to do the z-score. They asked.
No.
Huh?
It's some,
Go ahead, speak. What?
I think it's something different with this.
Okay, let's see if they're asking for the z-score. They can't be asking for the, because that's what proportion are within one standard deviation of the mean.
Is that using empirical rule?
Oh, that's just a standard deviation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, they're just repeating themselves. Okay, what proportion? Okay, they're just repeating, so that would be the standard deviation of the second set. So they're just repeating themselves. And they're going to ask you for the spread, is the spread, blah, blah, blah. And the answer, take the data that we did on that problem and answer as many questions you can. If you still can't do it, then send it to me and I'll go over it again and we'll do all the questions. Okay? When does the homework end? Should end Wednesday, shouldn't it? Or Thursday. So you still got class Thursday to send questions. That's why I do that. Okay? I'm sorry, what?
Like, through what number of homeworks is due Thursday?
I have no idea. That's one of those things. I bet you if you look on My Labs Plus, I bet it'll tell you.
When I said
You're just used to teacher telling you, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you are.
When I said
See, that's why you're going to fail in life. That's why you're going to fail.
probably.
So, there's always a cardboard box for everybody. Just remember that.
And a nice comfy.
And you have a little place down there by the river, a little campfire. You'll be all right.
I like to fish with you.
No, you're not supposed to fish. You're supposed to. No, shut up, Hubert. Shut up. Shut up, Hubert. You're not supposed. Next question. 3.235/11. Okay, I'm looking to see if this is an empirical rule, or we'll just read the question. At one point, the average price of a blah, 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 the average is 3.6 standard deviation. All right, first of all, if I start this question, I'm going to go ahead and draw the curve. 3.62 with a 4-cent standard deviation. So let's draw the curve. I have no idea what the question's asking, but I'm going to draw that curve because, one, I don't know everything, and two, I want to be able to do whatever I need to do if they ask it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the curve. So 3.62, and then add 4 cents, that'd be 3.66. And add 4 cents, that'd be 3.70 and 3.74. Oops. Y'all check my math, 3.74. I'm going to subtract, so that'd be 3.58. 3.54. I don't know why I keep putting the decimal in front of it. I'm a failure. 3.54 and 3.5. Okay. What's the cost of a gallon of gas in France right now? $8 to $10 a gallon.
Yeah.
Gotta love that socialism. Love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Venezuela, they eat their dogs and their zebras in the zoo over there. All right, but everything's free. Everything's free. All right, so 0.0, 3, 0.2, 2.3, 13.5, 34, 13.5, 2.3 and 0.2. I know I said 0.2. I'm just using different ones right here because you need to be aware that this is different in some cases. So you need to make sure in the book when they ask you a question, they usually make sure it's based on whichever one they give you in the book. This could be, put this in light yellow so you can hardly see it. 0, 1, 2, that's the z-scores in case we need them. And then where is the normal area? Normal is right in here. Okay, now I've drawn, so now I'm ready to attack the question because I've got some sense of what I'm dealing with here. Okay, so, oh God, this is stupid Chekhov or whatever his name. We never use that. This is not a test question. Okay. Chekhov, you have to do his little thing, and I don't even remember Chekhov's. So you have to, I call it Chekhov's because if you can pronounce that, more power to you. Chebyshev, whatever. It's a different philosophy. So I'm just going to view an example and I'm just going to show you because I don't even remember. There it is right there. Write that down. 1 minus 1 over k squared times 100. So if they ask for the first standard deviation, K is equal to 1. Everybody with me? If they ask for the second standard deviation, K is equal to 2. If they ask for the 1.5 standard deviation, K is equal to 1.5. I don't put a lot of faith in this because do they ask this on a standardized test? No. Do they sit there and when you are in a business meeting at your work, do they say, oh, I decided to pull in Chebenkov's theory? No. Who is going to pull in Chebenkov's theory in a third or fourth level statistics or probability and statistics course? Okay? That's not what I'm doing here. I'm not getting you ready for a third or fourth level. That's 301. That's 243. That's classes for that, okay? I'm not going to do that. So this is not a test question. I want you to write down that formula and say K is equal to the desired standard deviation. So if they ask for 2, K is equal to 2. If they add, and that's positive and a negative because 2 is 2 standard deviations. Okay, so that's the positive and the negative side. So if you get a certain percentage, that means, that's right. If it says 1.63, K is equal to 1.63, and you crunch it in there, and it'll give you a percentage. Okay, and I'm just going to show you. They're asking here. I'll just show you the first one. What percent of gasoline stations has prices within 3 standard deviations of the mean? So what does that mean? That means 3 to the left and 3 to the what? So they're asking right here with checkoffs or whatever. I'm going to do it in blue. 3. They're asking this right here. Because this is 3 and this is what? 3. Now, by the empirical rule, tell me what you think it's going to be. What's 0.15 and 0.15? 0.3? So that's going to be 99.7 by the empirical rule. The empirical rule is what's standardized used. Checkoffs, somebody put 3 in for K. That's going to be 1 minus 1/9. So right, 1 minus 1 over 3 squared times 100, which is going to equal 1 minus 1/9, which is going to be 9/9 minus 1/9, which is equal to what? 8/9. Somebody give me that decimal to 3 places. What's 8 divided by 9? Point? Yeah, I know there's a point in there.
0.889.
889. It's going to be 88 point what? 9%. By the empirical rule, it's what? 99.7%. Everybody with me? It's 2 different scales. And the empirical rule is used 99.9% of the time in introductory level statistics. Meaning, if you go into a meeting or you're presenting a meeting, you're going to be using the empirical rule. If you go into a third or fourth level statistics class, you're going to be looking at the comparison between the 2. But not in this class. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. But that's the formula. 1 minus 1 over K squared. And you can just do that and then move the decimal place over 2 places. Or you can multiply by what? 100%, which is multiply by 100. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because that's not detrimental to you passing this course. The empirical rule is detrimental. So make sure you know it. And that's what they're going to ask you. Okay. Next one. I'm trying to cover as much as I can here. 9/11. What time will y'all start going into convulsions? 9:20. Just want to make sure you don't fall on the floor or anything doing convulsions. All right. This is 3.2 35/11. 35/11. Same thing. Checkoffs. Okay? I'm not going to spend time. We'll go to something else. I want to go to questions. I've already covered this question, I think. No, I've got 2 more. Let me cover those, see what this one is. It's number 9. Down to the right, complete through standard deviation. Okay, this is not a test question. I would not give you this question on the test, but we're going to do it here because the best way to do it is on the spreadsheet. Even some of you calculator drill team, I can do it a whole lot faster on the spreadsheet than it take you typing it in. Even if you're on the calculator drill team, that's those students that can write their name with their calculator. Y'all know the type. And then you ask them to make change and they can't make change because they depend on the calculator too much. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so there is the numbers. I'm not going to, wait, you don't have to write them down, okay? What you do first is put them what? Put them in order. So the spreadsheet, I highlight them, and I go up here and hit data and A to Z. And now they're in order. Now they want to find the mean and the standard deviation, so I'm just going to do everything for you. I would make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger so you can see them, but not much because I need to get everything on here, so I'll just make it a little bit bigger there. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. Okay, so the mean, first thing we're going to do is what? Okay, I hate to stop right here, but I have to remind y'all what I said about texting in class. Okay? What if you came up here and asked me a question, and while you was asking me a question, I was texting while you were asking me a question? What is that? Okay, what's the difference in me doing that and you doing that? Now, what did I tell you? If you had to, if your heart was going to go into cardio infarction, if you can't text, where should you go? The hall. That's a shot across the bow. I just warned you. Next time I'm going to call you out. Third time, you leave and you discuss it with the security guy downstairs or the security woman downstairs. Everybody with me? Remember, I treat you the way that I want to be what? Okay. So the two people that's texting, stop. Got it? I just don't understand it. You need to take medication, take it. Go outside. All right. It just gets me rattled when people just treat me. Sorry, I have to get my see what it does? It just, but maybe y'all have a problem. I don't know. Maybe it's a medical condition y'all need to get taken care of. Okay. I'm sorry, my train of thought's already blown now. That's okay. Let me hit it one more time. Divided by, how many was it in there? Do you remember? 50. Okay, there's your mean. I don't know how the median got there. I didn't even do the median yet. So there's 50. So I got to get number 20, what? 26 and 27, right? Is that right? No, 24 above. Yeah, 25 and 26, right? That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And yes, I know they're counted on the side. I'm not stupid. Okay? Equals, so I'm going to take those two numbers. Let me highlight them so I won't have to count again. There's those two numbers, and that's going to equal parentheses that number plus that number divided by what? 2. And the mode, I don't care about the mode. If you can't find the mode with those numbers, then you don't need to be in this class. Equals the highest minus the what? So I'm going to just go through the median because y'all should know how to do this now. Okay, 50 is not a homework question. It's not a test question, but it is a homework question, and I didn't put it in there, but you'll be all right. Mid-range is equal to the highest plus the what? The highest plus the lowest divided by 2. And then the variance is equal to this number minus mean, F4, and then bring that down. Now this is where the calculator wins because the calculator can do the calculations faster, but you have to type in, oh, I didn't hit F4, did I? Did I hit F4? I guess I did.
But I got a question.
Oh yeah, I need to expand that.
How is the mean of 42.3?
Because 2 people were texting and got me off track, that's why. That's why. So let me go back and do it again. Let me just do the summation. I'm just having problems getting the mean of this problem, I think. Maybe I should just quit. Okay, let's try it now. Divided by 50. Maybe I hit 5. There we go. Does that look better? Yeah, a little bit. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this to 5 decimal places also. Format cells. There we go. I'm not going to go through everything on this one. I'm just trying to, well, I'm trying to get the, there we go. I'm trying to get it back. Just hold on. There we go. All right, variance. Okay, now we're going to square each one of those. So square it and copy that down. And then the variance is equal to the summation of all those numbers divided by what? Divided by 49. And then what is the relationship here? That's raised to the what? 0.5 power. Okay? So now you see the advantages of taking it out to 5 or 10 digits or whatever, because if it asked you for the 1,000th, you've got it. All right, so that's that question. And I'm trying to get all these 3.2 questions done for you. There's the last one, which is 23/9. Is that the same one? Yeah, same one. So, let me check because y'all gonna go into hysterics. What time is class? 9:25 or 9:35? It's 9:35. Yeah. Not what?
9:25.
Is it 9:25? Okay. Well, y'all gonna have convulsions here in a minute. So, if you have questions, see me after class. Y'all have a good day.